a while ago in the news, but I just want you to hear it again.
The leader of the state, we have been properly assured of all the support we need to be able to make sure Rivers State is clean. Subsequently, we also want to seize the opportunity to inform the people of Rivers State that the originally proposed environmental sanitation exercise that was supposed to hold on the 4th of October is hereby put off until further notice. This is to allow us build more capacity. The governor wants a different approach.
All right, so you heard there, Dr. Samuel Wanosike. And this is what I want us to note. So it clearly says that the exercise scheduled for October 4, which is supposed to be the first Saturday, that's tomorrow, has been cancelled. It did not say that sanitation exercise have been cancelled. I'm just saying from what he said, though. And he even hinted that the governor wants a different approach. Does this mean that we are still going to have sanitation exercise, but with a different approach or form? Because my question to you guys, for those of us who are on Facebook, is what other alternatives can the government come up with outside the usual or traditional environmental sanitation day? What other alternatives does the government have? What other alternatives can they come up with to ensure the cleanliness attitude is instilled in Rivers people by the laws of the country? The 1999 Constitution is amended. That's what I'm referring to, for those who do not know. It says a lot about protecting the environment and the responsibility of making sure that, the environment is well taken care of, environmental laws and regulations. There is the National Environmental Standards and Regulations Enforcement Agency, which was NESRIA. The act was established in 2007. Primary federal law on environmental enforcement. The establishment was basically of NESRA was to create the agency was created, I beg your pardon, with the responsibility of enforcing environmental laws, guidelines, and standards in the country. And some of its functions were to enforce compliance with laws, guidelines, policies, standards, and environmental matters, including environmental health and sanitation. This is not NOSDRAL, it's NESRIA. That stands for National Environmental Standards and Regulations Enforcement Agency. All right. So it also sets and enforces standards on water quality, air quality, and noise control, part of its responsibilities. It also enforces compliance with regulations on waste management. Now, this is where it gets interesting. So, there are some general rules that it provides. When you want to talk about National Environmental Sanitation and Waste Control Regulations Act of 2009, there are general rules it provides, detailed rules on cleanliness and environmental sanitation. There are certain obligations on persons and premises that is also very specific. Now, some of those obligations, owners of premises must provide, this is very popular, potable water, adequate toilets, ensure proper maintenance of structures, etc., etc. Waste generators must segregate hazardous from non-hazardous and recyclables and place them in securely tied plastic bags or leak-proof bins. I'm trying to put out, these things are all in your laws in this country. Unfortunately, not a lot of Nigerians read the laws or try to, acquit themselves of what the law says. There's also what vehicle owners and passengers must not do. Includes they must not throw or drop litters onto the streets or on designated places. Vehicle owners must provide appropriate litter receptacles. This is where the road safety always ask you for that, your waste basket inside your car. You need to have it, because if anybody in your vehicle uses something, so rather than littering the streets, you put it in there. So that was also provided for in your laws. For those who do not know, public and event organizers also have to provide waste receptacles. So you don't say because it was an event and then you litter everywhere. But now this is the rule for states, and it differs. For state environmental protections agencies, SEPAs, which is State Environmental Protection, state governments enact their own environmental laws and establish agencies. If you go to Lagos, there's LOMA. To implement waste management and sanitation, we have RUWAMA. Other states have what they do. But then the local government councils, these guys are constitutionally responsible for certain local sanitation services, including waste, refuse disposal, sewage and drainage, control of public conveniences, enacting and enforcing bylaws on sanitation. That's where I was going to. So, recycle one side, plastic waste one side, toxic, what do they call them, bio waste differently, and so on and so forth. You have to know how to. The question is, how many people even know that you cannot just carry bottle and gari and put inside one place and tie it and say you are going to dispose it? How many people even know that? That's another question we need to be asking now. Is the average Rivers person enlightened enough to know that this thing is an offense and is in your law, and there are certain punishments that could go for it? So as a resident, you have a responsibility first to make sure you don't litter, to make sure you properly dispose of whatever waste you generate in your households. The local government councils have a responsibility to put a mechanism in place for how to evacuate these wastes. And bringing it to the street in itself already negates the provisions of the NESRA agency and the act that established that agency. It negates it entirely, because what it means when you bring it to the street is you are basically bringing dirt to the road. It will definitely lead to littering indirectly. So it's not even an option. But then if you listen to Dr. Wanosike, he says the governor has a different approach. I'm pretty sure that was the conversation they had. I wished he gave an insight into the alternatives, because now we need alternatives. We need alternatives. What alternatives do we have to the usual sanitation that we were supposed to do monthly? Many growing up in River State would remember how it was back in the day with the sanitation day and how everybody takes it seriously. As good as that is, on the long term, what really solves the problem is the mindset of the people that reside in the state. Something has to shift. In Rwanda, they don't do a particular day that everybody must clean, but everybody knows that you cannot do this or you cannot do that. We'll take a commercial now. When we come back, we'll go to the phone lines and continue with the conversation. Good morning. didn't directly say that we no longer would have sanitations. He only specifically said in council that subsequent ones we might want, and he also said the governor has a different approach. So does that mean we might have exercise that might happen monthly or daily, or because this doesn't suggest a cancellation of the sanitation exercise in general. It basically speaks to the sanitation exercise for tomorrow. So, what happens going forward? What alternatives could we be looking at? Should we be looking at, especially when we can't restrict movement because of the sanitation exercise? We can't say no vehicular movement, no, people shouldn't move or do their business because we have this. Because if everybody is clean, and like I've read in there for individuals, residents, business owners, transporters, event planners, everybody. If everybody does what is right, you don't later, you don't throw, because the dirt on the street not fall from if you are stupid. In this one, they fall. My beggy, a thing.